Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha Izundu if you are new here. This is a video about when I think the high-end brand who created the original product is actually better than the dupe. So I know this, I want to disclaim this. If you cannot afford the high-end, this is not me telling you to go buy the high-end at all. This is just a fun video where we can compare, and I will actually do the reverse after this. So I'm going to do where the dupe is better than the original. And I know that that's probably going to be even more popular, but I thought this would be a fun introduction to it. There are definitely some products where I think you just can't beat the high-end. It's got that quality behind it. It's not even the packaging. I'm purely talking about the product here, the formula, the shades, all of that kind of stuff. So if you are interested in this video, I would so appreciate a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new here, and let's just roll into it. Starting with primer, I have the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, the blurring one. This is amazing. So they reformulated and brought out silicone-free primers. All their primers now are silicone-free. This is the blurring one, and most blurring primers have silicone in them. Actually, before I start, I also wanted to say a lot of these products I actually really like. I don't tend to keep products that I hate because I don't have the space for it. So a lot of these products I don't necessarily think are horrible. I just think the high-end brands that are based off the duping are better. That's kind of where I'm at. So I don't want you to think that I hate the products at a drugstore or a lower end, because I do still like them. I just don't think they reached that mark of the brand that they were trying to dupe. So in regards to the Laura Mercier blurring primer, it is fantastic. I'm gonna do the high end on this side and then the drugstore on this side. So some of the things that I have, like blushes, aren't exact shade dupes. So I don't think my face will look exactly the same, but I kind of only use this in that nose and T-zone area because I don't really need blurring on the outskirts of my face, but it really does a wonderful job of blurring. I get redness to the touch. You can totally see my redness to the touch. It'll go away, don't worry. And you don't need a lot of this, which is another reason I like this primer. I like when a product in general, you don't require a lot of it, because we put so much makeup on our face in layers. If you need a ton of something, then it's probably just not the best, you know? And then the one that it is trying to dupe it, and this is all my opinion, by the way. I don't have official records that this product is trying to dupe that. They're just very, very similar. So this is the Revlon Prime Plus. This is the Perfecting and Smoothing one. They're all different ones. So this is Makeup Skincare Primer. So this one has that same smoothness to it, but this one does have dimethicone in it, which I believe is silicone. I could be wrong. Sometimes I'm not very good with exact ingredients, like skincare. Like I do know a bit, but sometimes when it comes to the scientific names, I'm not 100%. I think silica as well. Anyway, so this one has an instant smoothing, like it's so smooth. But this one has more of a tackiness. Because it's not just blurring, it's also got the skincare benefits, which I understand. But this is just like, my skin feels like a baby's bum. It honestly does on this side. Like it's so smooth, smoother than before. Whereas this is more tacky, I want to say. So it's a little bit different in that sense. But they both have that smoothing, blurring effect. Can we even see? No, you can't really see a difference, but I am shiny on this side and I'm not shiny on this side. So, all right, foundation. This was a hard one. I have a lot of foundation, but at the same time, they're all a little bit different. So I found these two, I thought that were quite comparable in that they're both a light coverage foundation in a tube, and they have skincare benefits. So this one is color correcting with anti-blue light ingredients. It's from the Kind Collective, which is an Australian drugstore brand. So this is the Healthy Glow Sheer Foundation. I have the shade, I think it's light. It's not the best shade for me. And then this one is Charlotte Tilbury's Beautiful Skin Foundation. And it's that same skincare infused lightweight foundation with nice dewiness. So let's pop these on. I'm gonna do the Kind Collective first. Now, I don't think this is a, oh, wrong side. Wrong side. Oh my God, lucky. Now, I don't hate this product, but I think it's, for one, it's too dark for me. This is definitely more of a gradual tan kind of product. It's not like so dark that I can't use it. It's definitely more of a summer product, but we're talking more about the formula anyway. It's not bad. I just think there is better out there. They actually have a loose powder foundation that I think is really good. Yeah, I just feel like I have to keep applying. And like I said before, I just don't want a product that I have to build. Like in terms of like liquid products, because I am building other products on top of it and I don't want to have too much makeup on my skin. But it is a nice light sheer coverage. You can see, I can still see all my blemishes. It's just kind of even that skin tone. It's the same case with the Beautiful Skin. This is too neutral and it's just too dark and too yellow for me. So it's actually probably going to match up with the Kind Collective one. But this one has just a really nice finish to it. It has a nice light coverage, but I think it's more buildable than the other one. I think the other one is kind of just gonna, the more you put on, the coverage stays the same. Whereas this has that ability to be built up and just has a really nice finish. So even though I've got that blurring primer underneath, my skin still looks really nice and healthy. I'll put a little bit more on my chin because I've just got so much redness and dryness from this cold weather. So I can already see a difference. This is a lot more of a dewy side, and I think it's because of that primer, because this is a dewy foundation, but that blurring primer has really made it turn into like a natural finish. Are we seeing that difference there? And actually this is a pretty good color match for me. Whereas this is, yeah, it's just, is it a good color match? Yeah, it's not that bad. I did have some fake tan on, so my neck is a little bit more yellow than normal. And I find that this is a little bit on the yellow side. So I've done like just over 1 pump here, and I did about 3 pumps on this side, if that gives you an indication of what I was talking about. Concealer, this one's a bit controversial. So I have the Kosas concealer, which I love. I think it's incredible. Less is more with this. If you use a lot, it's Crease City. But it's so pigmented that you don't actually need a lot. I think the people that don't like it aren't using it correctly. Also, skin types. Everyone reacts differently to different skin products. I have the shade 1N. So this is a serum infused. I'm just going to put a little bit there and maybe a little bit here. Yeah, I just keep forgetting which side I have the high end. This is high end. Skincare infused benefits in the concealer. So it's got a nice dewy serum finish while still having coverage. And I think that's why it's done so well, because a lot of like dewy concealers, they don't have coverage. And if they do, they just kind of move around everywhere. Whereas this one, you can just see that coverage with that tiny amount that I use, and that'll be sufficient because I don't want it to be too serumy under my eye and cause heavy creasing. It's a really good formula. The only issue is a lot of Kosas products, because they're clean beauty, they don't have the ingredients that give it long wear, the preservatives. So they do go bad quickly. So it's one of those products you have to really use quickly. A little bit here. Now the thing is, I usually do here. How do I do? This is hard. We're gonna do it though. I'm determined. I'm interested to see how this looks at the end. Which one like has that like put together look is what I'm trying to say, I think. But if you prefer like a really dewy finish, you might even like this side, you know? It is all very subjective. I personally like a natural finish. I like a dewy finish sometimes, but because I get oily, I do like a natural finish. Because by the end of the day, I have a dewy finish. Now, this is a good product, okay? Don't come for me. The NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum is very comparable to this. I just think this has a bit more pigment, so it just, I mean, that's what we're here for a concealer for, is for pigment. I hate that you have to do this. I need a doe foot. So I have the shade Light. I bought the shade Fair and it was white. So I got the shade Light here and it's still very light. But see how I have to use my finger? I don't really like that. So yeah, this has still got a good formula. We're not shading it. It's just, I just don't think it's as good as the Kosas, which I believe they've based it off because there is nothing really like Kosas. I mean, Too Faced brought out one, but this is the OG. Bare Minerals had one. I actually really like the Bare Minerals one. But they brought out new ones. Apparently it's not as good. But yeah, I don't think it has that level of coverage. And I like a high coverage concealer. I mean, that's what I'm using concealer for. Is to counter-correct darkness or redness, just anything that I want to even out. I don't want to use too much because I only used a little bit of the Kosas. But we definitely have a different look from this side to this side. Both beautiful. So my eyebrows, it was a hard one because a lot of eyebrow products are all the same. Are they not? So I've got 2 pencils. I feel like all of the pencils are based off the Benefit Precisely My Brow, which is the best in my opinion. I do find most eyebrow products extremely similar, but this one is supreme. It is supreme. I have the shade 2.5. I love their shade range. I think that's where drugstore is lacking. Even Kosas is great because they have a fantastic shade range. I've already used mine though. I don't have it with me, so I already went through mine. I think I have the shade Taupe. Anyway, 2.5 is a wonderful shade for me. I think it's like a neutral blonde or something. I really like it. But yeah, a lot of drugstore are all the same. The issue that I face is the color range. I find it hard to get a color that I really like. I do really like the NYX. I finished that one though. NYX have a pretty decent range. I literally started doing my other eyebrow because I wasn't concentrating. But that's the Benefit. The other one I have is W7 Stroke of Genius. Now for the price, 100% recommend. But for all the reasons that I've been saying, shade range, I think there was 3 shades. This is too dark for me. It's not bad. Certainly not bad. But it just doesn't, it's a lot more pigmented. And I actually don't like eyebrow products that are too pigmented because it makes your eyebrow look too blocky, and if it's too pigmented it has more of a chance to move around. You want something light and kind of got a waxiness to it so that it stays and so that it looks natural. And so this is a little dark, but we're not going to comment on that. But that is part of the reason. There's just not the shade range. But yeah, if your budget is $3 for an eyebrow pencil, 100%. This was $3 at Chemist Warehouse. And then eyebrow gel. I mean, there is no competition in this one. The high end is the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. These are clear. I'm a clear brow gel gal. And I feel like most brands are duping this. This is, I mean, Benefit are the OG brows that like blew up. Oh, and Anastasia too. But Anastasia didn't have a clear brow gel, did she? She was more the pomade and the powders. And then I've got the OXX Cosmetics, the Kmart one. It is so bad. I actually don't recommend this. It just doesn't really do anything, but I've kept it because if I run out, this will be my backup just to use, but it's nothing to write home about. I wouldn't waste your money even at Kmart, even if it is cheap. I have 2 cream bronzers. Now they're not exactly the same, but they're both contour cream. So we've got bronzing cream and contour cream. So I've gone for contour. And the high end is the Huda Beauty Tantour. This is so wonderful. I will always recommend this. It is such a good product. It's a contour, but it's still got a little bit of warmth to it so that you could use it as your standalone bronzer if you wanted to. Now this is the fair one, I can't comment on the other ones, but if you are the fair shade, I feel like you can even see, like I've got a neutral undertone and this has got a very neutralness to it. So you could use this as a contour or as a, I went in too hard with this, or as a bronzer. Oh my god, why do I keep doing that? So I've put too much because I forgot I'm doing half a face, not a full face. I am not in the zone. But see how easy to blend this is? It is such a dream to use. And it dries down. That's what I love. That's a good quality cream product when it dries down. Gorge. And then the drugstore version that I got is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I don't think this is horrible, but I just don't think it's wonderful. I'll show you what I mean, but it's a contour and it's actually very similar in color. I would say the e.l.f. is a little bit cooler toned and this is more creamy. This is more, I know it's a cream, but it's got, to me it reminds me of like more of like a gel texture, even though it is a cream. But it is the same as Huda, that it can be definitely used just as a bronzer as well, but they are contour shades. So this is your more natural option, and then Huda is your more glam option. And we can kind of see that. All right, some cream blush. Now these are both glowy stick cream blushes, which is, I've picked both of these. So the high end is your OG of the cream blush sticks, nude sticks. I have a mini, but this is my second mini that I've had. I've finished one. I had the matte, it was like a burnt, it was like sun-kissed, I think. I had the matte one of that and finished it, loved it, because they are eyes and lips. And then this is the dewy, all over face dewy color in Bohemian Rose. When I tell you I'm in love with this, I am definitely going, it's just one of those things that I keep wanting to buy is nude sticks. Do I need more? No, but nude sticks formula really is incredible. The matte and the dewy formula is both beautiful. So this I love as a cheek and I love as a lip equally. I think they're both so beautiful. The formula is honestly 10 out of 10. So here's my high end. It's so pretty. I just love it. I really, really love it. And I will get a little brush here. It's something that I always travel with. I think I've just put it in my project pan because it's nice and small and I can finish it. Gosh, it's pretty. This is the shade Bohemian Rose, like I said. And it's got a really nice sheerness to it, that it's such a beautiful flush of color, but there is color there. And it's the same on the lips. I honestly think I might even purchase the full size of this shade. I love it. Absolutely love it. I actually don't have a bad word to say about it. I kind of want to put it on my lips, but we're not here for that. And then the drugstore version I have is the Australis. This is really nice, but it's almost like too balmy. Like this is definitely glowy balmy, but it's got a sophistication to it. This just kind of feels, and that's actually too much. It's very pigmented. I think I prefer the other shade that I have. I think it's the really more cooler toned one. But I wanted to pick this one because of the shade is similar. It's not bad. Like I do like it, but I would definitely reach over the nude sticks over this one. It's got more of an oiliness to it, where this has got more of a creaminess to it. Like I can feel like this is going to be gone by the end of the day from just moving around because it's too emollient. Does that make sense? But they both look very similar on the cheeks. I might quickly do my eyes and then we'll do the rest of the powder, just in case I powder down and I get fallout everywhere. So I have two eyeshadow palettes that are just very similar. I wouldn't know if the drugstore brand actually duped this, but my high-end brand is the McGrath. I don't even know if you can get this anymore. This was the Celestial Odyssey Luxe Quad in Bronze Borealis. I've cleaned it up because it's very powdery. So it's one of these products that when I first got it, I was like, oh, it's okay. But then I fell in love with it because every time I did my eyes, I don't know what it is. It just looked so elevated. So I'm going to do a quick look because we're doing 2 different looks. But I'm going to go in with this shade here. So we've got 1 matte and 3 shimmers. So we're going to go in with that matte first. And I think I'm just going to brush that all over the lid. And I do find this palette just really easy to use. It's just very powdery. But like I said, the end result always turns out so nice that I'm forgiving. And then I'm going to go in with this shade here on the outer part of the eye. I do love a plummy kind of gold eyeshadow look. I think it's smoky without being like a black smoky eye or a brown smoky eye, which is what I really like about this palette. The shimmers just are pretty insane. And then I'm going to take this gold shimmer in the center. And then this light shimmer in the inner part. Now this is still too dark for me to go all like too much in. It's not an inner corner highlight. There is so much fallout. I am glad I didn't powder. Let's go on with the other side. This is the Nude by Nature Natural Illusion Eye Palette in Soft Rose. So it's got those same beautiful tones as this, but it does have extra shades. So we can even see that matte shade is very similar. There is a nice gold shade. So it's not an exact dupe, but they're very similar in tone. Now I really like this palette, but it's not got this same outcome. It's a lot more of a soft finish, and it's more of an everyday. So I'd take this as your everyday palette and the Pat McGrath as your going out at night palette. You know, I actually saw Wayne Goss talking about Nude by Nature on his channel, and I was like, oh my god, he's shouting out an Australian makeup brand. I bet they did well after that. I actually don't rate their powder foundation as much as some of the others, because I do have it. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh my god. And he's not even in Australia and he's still shouting it out. See how pretty that is? So I think these go for $40, but when you get your 50% off, they're like $20. Like that just performed really well. I'd actually say that performed better than this one. This one was more patchy, the matte color. That's quite incredible. Okay, and then we're gonna go in, we're just gonna use the shades that are similar. So I'm gonna use these 2 shades here. So that shade on the outer corner and then this shade on the inner corner. I didn't use that. And then I'll probably actually use this because there was a lighter shimmer on my inner corner. Inner corner. Alright, so we can see a slight difference, but they've both got the same vibes. So let's put these side by side. See how the shimmers are just a little bit more oomphy? But I gotta tell you, this shade was better than this shade. Well, that's interesting. So yeah, this has still got a beautiful look. It's just a little bit more kind of blended into one another, whereas you can really tell the difference in the shimmers in this one. So they're definitely comparable, but I would still say that the Pat McGrath reigns supreme in that if you love this color story, I still think this is worth it. But even if you like this look, because it's still beautiful, this is still a wonderful option. So with mascara, I'm going to show you a picture of my high end because I've used it and finished it. I didn't have one that was high end and low end that I had in my collection that I wanted to compare. So I'm going to insert the picture of the Kevyn Aucoin volume mascara. Love that. I think it's the one that I love the most. It makes your lashes really separated, lifted, and natural. And I don't know why it's called volume, because in my opinion, it's just a very natural separating mascara, which I just think is worth the price. It's a wonderful, wonderful mascara. MCO Beauty duped that. I actually know this is a dupe for that. And I still like this, so I'm gonna use this on both sides. I still like this, but it is a regular wand, and they're both tubing mascaras. I just think I like the naturalness of the Coconut Quan just the tiniest bit more. When it comes to MCO Beauty mascaras, my favorite is actually their waterproof mascara. It's really, really nice. Even though this is the one that put them on the map, it's a little bit sticky. It's got a weird tackiness to it. And I know sometimes tubing mascaras have that, but I don't get that with the Coconut Quan. So this is still a really nice mascara, and I still use it. And I love that they came out with a brown one. I still think the OG is incredible. So what are we doing? Powder, powder, powder. I think we're actually going to powder my face first, and then we'll do bronzer. I don't think that the Hourglass ambient lighting powders are dupable. My personal opinion, I don't think they're dupable. I have Mood Light. They are such a beautiful soft focus. I've not yet found one that has the same effect. Now, I also bought the Hourglass setting powder because the dupe that I have, I almost feel like is a blend of these two. It's the Models Prefer Mineral Finishing Veil. So it's almost like a blend of the two Hourglass products because it's a loose powder, but it's a finishing powder like this one. But I'm going to use these two products because I think these two are the most similar. So the Mood Light does exactly that. It creates a mood lighting. So a dark, not darker, but a soft kind of look. And that's what I like about these powders, is you don't see a significant change in, like, if you put highlighter on, you really see it and so on. But you get the most beautiful finish. And this is supposed to be used at the end, but I'm using it right now, so don't come for me. Because what they also do, finishing powders, is blend everything together. But I just want you to see what this looks like on its own. See how it's just got that beautiful kind of luminous but soft at the same time look? That is that powder. That is that powder doing that. And then with the Models Prefer, I actually have this in my project pan, and I'm kind of realizing I don't love this anymore. I wear this to work, and I find at the end of the day, it separates my makeup. So this is the same, where it's got that beautiful soft focus luminosity to it, and it is a finishing powder, but it just doesn't have that same elevation that the Hourglass has. And I've had both powders for a long time, and I am trying to finish this one. I've used about half of it, as you can see. So I definitely have my thoughts on it, and I wear it all the time. I just don't think I like it for long wear. I like the way it looks initially, but by the end of the day, I don't like how my makeup looks when I wear this powder. So, oh, this is the same. I think Models Prefer is trying to dupe Hourglass. So I've got the Hourglass bronzer, and then I've got the Models Prefer Mineral Powder Soft Touch in Glow 2. So this bronzer has diffused ambient lighting powder with the bronzer, so it's mixed in, so you still get that beautiful powder finish, diffused light finish with a really nice cooler tone bronzer. So I love this bronzer. It's really nice and natural, and you cannot overdo it. That's what I love so much about it, is one with your face. Gorge, I love it. And then the Models Prefer, I love. I've had this for a really long time, but it's got that same idea where it's got the luminous powders mixed in with a bronzing shade. So this is like the closest I could find to a dupe. And I've always thought it was a dupe. It's just a little bit more warmer, but Hourglass also has different shades. So I wouldn't consider that part of my comparison. But it definitely has that beautiful luminosity. I think it's actually more luminous than the Hourglass one, a tad. You could even Forgo highlighter with this one. And I think it's more these shades are really pretty, but they have that luminosity to it. But it's not heavy, but it is very luminous. Next we have blush. These blushes are actually really luminous too. Okay, we're gonna be very luminous. So I've got Hourglass again, the diffused heat. I really had a look at my blush collection. I've got quite a few blushes, but I found it really hard to dupe the finish with the color in two, because I am someone that I don't want to have too many duplicates of things in my collection. I do kind of intentionally say, oh, I've got that hot pink, or I've got that orange, you know what I mean? But I did manage to find the diffused heat. Oh my god, so I've got the diffused, oh my god, I didn't even realize the two Hourglass products that I have, the one bronzer and the one blush I have, are both diffused. I didn't even know that. I should get the diffused finishing powder. So this is a really pretty blush. I love this blush. It's got a really nice color to it. Now the other one I have isn't the same color, but it's got that same marbled effect. And I love this color. It's a really nice rosy peach. And same with the bronzer, you can't overdo it. It just looks one with your skin. Absolutely stunning. And then I have the Barry M Heatwave Coastal Baked Marble Blusher. And I think these are baked. To me, they look baked. Are they made in Italy? Yeah, they'll be baked. So this here is the shade Coastal, I believe. So this is very highlighty. So I'm about to get really glowy very quickly. But it's the same as the Hourglass, where it's not a heavy blush. It's just a lot of highlight. But see how that's given a really nice pink look without being heavily pigmented? I think it could have a little less highlight though, honestly. It's a lot of highlight. I even brought highlighter, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna put that highlighter on, even if it's too much. But yeah, both really nice. I both really like both of them, but we've still got that more soft focused look on this side, and we're looking very shiny disco ball on this side. All right, I have two highlighters. Actually, my cheaper highlighter is less glowy, so that's cool. I have the OG pink highlighter, Bobbi Brown. This is in Pink Glow. She's a stunner, like classic, can't go wrong. It's highlighter, but it's still got a softness to it. And I think that's the difference we're seeing with the high end, is it's still doing what it says, but it's not over the top, you know? And that's what I like in a highlighter. Oh, stunning. And then I have the Mecca Max Skin Halo Powder Highlighter in Opal Glow. So here it is here, and it's a little bit more natural. I still really like it, but you'll even see in the two that this just has that beautiful shimmeriness to it, and this kind of lacks that. So we've got two pink highlighters, but the Bobbi Brown does still succeed. So I don't even know if we're really gonna get anything from this side because I've already got that highlighter on. I think I'm just gonna turn into a big poured disco ball. And then my lips, my last product is one of my favorite lip products of all time, the Fenty Beauty Heat. This is in Hot Cherry, the original. I've got about, when it's standing, about this much left. I use it all the time. So this is a lip plumper. I don't usually use lip plumpers, but I love this one because it makes my lips look naturally very red, and then when it dies down, it stays a light tint of red. And then I have, I'm gonna do half on each side. Yeah, I'll do it. Then I have the Essence What the Fake Extreme Plumping Lip Filler with Chili Extract. So extremely similar. Similar in color, similar in effect. The difference is the plumping is instant and then it dies away, like the stinging. This doesn't go away. It keeps stinging for hours. Well, maybe an hour, but a long time. I don't think it's supposed to do that. So anyway, I do prefer this one. I do feel like this has a nice thicker, when I say thick, I don't mean like sticky, but it's got a more luscious aspect to it. How am I going to do this? Oh yeah. I just think Fenty lip glosses in general cannot be beaten. Okay, I totally did that. And then let's do this side. So this is a thinner formula, the Essence. It's still really hydrating. It still does the same thing as the Fenty Heat. I just prefer the formula of the Fenty. But it is a good dupe, I gotta say. We're gonna see my lips get darker, more red, because the blood is gonna rush to the surface. So this one I can already feel the stinging. This is weird sensation because it's like half and half on each side. While that is happening, let's do setting spray. I have on the high end my favorite, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. It's phenomenal. It really locks everything in place and it's got a great sprayer. So let's, are we right? Did you see that sprayer? And it smells incredible. And then on the other side, we have the Revlon Lock Setting Mist, which is the same idea. It's just locking everything in. The only thing, like one thing that I think like, is it really saving money? You get 56 mils. You get 100 mils. I think, I don't remember the exact price. Like this is expensive. But if you doubled the price of this, is it a huge difference? I don't know. Smells fresh. This is like the best sprayer. It's really good, but this isn't too bad either. So we're gonna let those dry. They're both burning, but this is burning more. The Essence is burning more. But also I wear this all the time because I think my lips are used to it. There we can see how much I have left. I'm trying to finish it. I honestly thought I would have been finished by now. I wear it like every day. Yeah, this is burning more. I feel like this has got more pink to it and this is more red. The Fenty's more red, the Essence is more pink. Oh, you can totally see that in the camera. But you can see how it's looking more like a lipstick, but after about an hour, it totally dies down and just leaves a beautiful, soft red tint. And I love these kind of products. I think it just goes with no makeup, it goes with makeup, it just looks like your lips kind of bitten, enhanced. And that's why I really like these products. Ooh, she's burning. That is everything. What is your favorite side? Be honest. If it's the drugstore side, tell me it is. Tell me what you think of these products and if you think that I'm on the money or disagree with me, I don't mind. Here we have the high-end side. We've got a really nice glowy finish. And then we have the drugstore side. I still love all of these products, remember that. But I just do think they are a little bit different to their high-end counterparts. Anyway, that completes the video, guys. I so appreciate you watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I haven't really done one like this before. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!